Okay, we have an issue with the air conditioner, so the first thing we're going to do is shut the power off to this unit. It's just a pull-out disconnect, but that doesn't completely kill power to the unit. That's the 230 volt. We have a 24 volt power supply that comes from the inside unit to this outdoor unit. We've shut the power supply off inside so we don't short anything out. If you don't do that, if you get the wrong wires together, you can blow traces off a circuit board, burn up a transformer, blow a fuse, or blow up a thermostat. We're going to remove the panel over the electrical of the unit. There's a screw here on the bottom on each side of this panel that we take off, and then we loosen this screw, and it allows us to drop this panel down. Okay. As we examine this unit, we can see that this capacitor the top of it is puffed up. We want to pay attention to where the wires are on it. You've got a blue wire on HERM, the two yellow wires on C, and the brown wire is on fan. We need to make a note of that so we remember it. When we remove this capacitor, there's two screws that hold it in place. On this particular unit, the two screws are 1/4 inch, so you need a 1/4 inch nut driver. The screws to take the cover off are generally 5/16, so you need a 5/16 nut driver. That's the only tools you should need to do this job. We're going to remove the capacitor by removing the 1/4 inch screws that hold this in. It's not too difficult to do. You can drop them on the ground, watch them in the grass, hang onto the bracket, lay the screws aside. You need to get your new capacitor. You need to change the wires one at a time. We have the brown on fan, which will go on fan. The blue wire come off, it goes on HERM. And then you have a yellow wire that goes on C. There was one other yellow wire. We're going to get it put back on C. And the capacitor is wired correctly now. To reinstall the screws in the capacitor, if you don't have a magnetic nut driver, you can take a small piece of paper, put around the head of that nut on the screw, and it will grip it in your nut driver. You can start your screw, line it up with the hole, and you should be ready installed. We have one other screw to put in. We do the same thing with a small piece of paper. Turn it back on, or we're tighten it down, and we're ready to turn it back on, and the unit should be operating. And we're tightening the last screws up. The unit is ready to put back in operation. We will reinstall the plug in the disconnect, and Shorty's HVAC supplies will have air conditioning once again. This is what the old capacitor looks like. As you can see, the terminals are labeled HERM, fan, and C. And it's swelled up. That's the reason it needed changed.